needs a hand to stabilize while we do single arm work? Recording. Okay. If you're somebody that needs to stabilize while we do single arm work, you might just need one. If you have no issue doing both arms holding weight, taking them away from your body, then you would want to. Okay. I'm just demonstrating with soup cans. You know, anything up to 3 pounds each would probably be good. If you're not sure, or you want to work more on that stability and not so much heavier weights, then I would recommend maybe like water bottles. Those would be a really good place to start. Okay. So grab those pieces of equipment. I would also like everybody to have some water nearby. And then the last thing, which isn't mandatory, but something I always get us to kind of think of doing, is sitting up as tall as we can. And that means getting a piece of equipment, maybe it's a rolled up towel or a yoga block or something of the sort, putting it behind your back so that we can sit up tall and not slouch when we do our breathing exercises at the beginning. Okay. So if you don't need that, that's fine. Just come away from the back of your chair like I'm sitting and just sit nice and tall. Okay. And we're going to start. You can have your eyes closed if you'd like, or you can keep looking at myself. We're going to have one hand on the low belly, so right at the belly button height, and one hand on the chest. Okay, we're going to go right into belly breathing today. So most of us have done this with me before, but I want you to think of inhaling, and I want you to think like a balloon is right behind your belly button, and the balloon as you inhale is going to expand. So someone's blowing air into the balloon. So as we do that, the belly rises or extends out in 360 degrees. So inhale, and let's just make sure everybody's on mute when we come into this class. And then we exhale, and I want you to think of that belly, the balloon, everything's sinking down, everything's contracting in towards the midline. Thanks, Martine. And then we do it again. Inhale, belly expands, and exhale. Okay, and if you want to look, if you're not sure what's happening, just keep looking at myself. I'll try and expand my belly good enough so everyone can see. Otherwise, you're just focusing on what you're feeling on your hand. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, the top hand is not doing anything. So we shouldn't feel a big rise and fall of the chest. We're trying to on purpose just use that diaphragm. Okay, here we go. Inhale. And exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. Tempo might be different than me, and that's okay too. Inhale. And exhale. Feeling the floor with the bottom of the feet or the hips. Sit bones. Inhale. And exhale. Nice big belly breaths. Let's do 4 more as a group. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Staying tall. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And last time, staying tall. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Okay. Gently bat your eyes open if they were closed. We're going to start with some nice neck releases. So you're going to look over to the side and then rotate other side and over to the side and in and other side. And good. And rotate and rotate. We're trying to not tip any ears to the side. So it's like you're just brushing your chin right on like a tabletop. So we're just pivoting the head. Okay, and then we're going to go last time to the left, and then we're going to tip up. So bottom jaw on the top, gently, center, and then tuck the chin, and then center. Okay, I'm saying tuck the chin because we don't want to hang the head forward. We want to actually grab something with our chin, and then center. Good. up, and center. Nice, and again, up, and center. Last time. And now we're gonna do a tilt. So you're gonna keep your chin facing forward, that's step one, and you're gonna pretend like you're gonna tip water out of your ear onto your shoulder. Come on up. If it doesn't move a lot, if we're feeling tight here, I highly recommend you just stick with that feeling instead of moving our chin to get a deeper rotation, because then we're actually not tipping anymore. That's stretching other muscles, and I really want us to hit here. So if you know you have rods in your C-spine or anything like that, this will be quite challenging, but that doesn't mean we still can't get a little bit of that tilt and work on that little bit of range of motion that we might have. Okay, and good. Last 3 here. And 2. And now we're gonna do a half circle. So I want you to think of making a half circle with the nose, keeping it nice and gentle. And over. And good. Nice, everybody. 2 more. So when I say gentle, we're not cranking the neck down. I don't want anyone having any pain, or you might hear some little adjustments in that, but we don't want it to be painful. If so, we're just going to make that half circle a little smaller and not so big. Okay, here we go. Tucking that chin, rounding down through the spine. Nice big seated cat cows. Okay, for those of you that don't want to do these seated, I know some of us like to get to the floor and do this. That's totally fine. But there is a lot of benefit to doing this seated that is different from being on the floor. Okay, and we're gonna hands behind you, lift the heart up to the ceiling, shoulder blades in your back pockets. You should feel tension between those shoulder blades right here. So this isn't a passive stretch. We're really pushing into the hands, getting that chest lifted. Take a deep breath, and then we're gonna switch and go back to the flexion. So tuck the chin, rounding in the spine. Move nice and slow, especially if you know that you get lightheaded. Deep breath down here. Slowly rolling up. Hands behind you, shoulder blades in your back pockets. Reach that heart up to the ceiling. And we take it back again. Good, tuck that chin, rounding in the spine. We're gonna do 2 more as a group. Take your time. Finding the bottom, grab the legs if you even need to, or if you want to get a bit more of that spinal flexion, pull yourself into those legs. Deep breath at the bottom, slowly rolling up on your own time. Hands behind you, shoulder blades in your back pockets. Reach your heart to the ceiling. And last time, here we go, tucking that chin and rounding through the spine. All the way down, as far as you comfortably can. Slowly rolling up. Hands behind you, eyes to the sky. Reach your heart up to the ceiling. For 3, 2, and 1. Good. And today we're going to do a rotation. So you're going to take your hands over the thigh or onto the rim of your chair or your armrest and look over your shoulder. And we're going to be here for 30 seconds. Stay tall. Make sure you're breathing. And slowly unwind, come back to center. So to get the full twist, we need to have the eyes and the head going the other way. So rotate, and then eyes and head are going to look behind your shoulder. On the clock. and slowly coming back. Good. We're going to go right into a nice big bear hug. So the hands are coming out to the sides. Spread the fingers wide if you can, and then cross hug one elbow on top of the other. And then we go the other way, alternating for 10. Halfway. Really opening up that chest. Last one, everybody. Okay, and then we're gonna go up and over. So we're gonna reach up and over. I want this other hand somewhere to support you. And you're gonna arc over the body. So we're not going up to the ceiling. We're trying to reach all the way to the other side. And good. So this is like a really intense stretch on that side body, more so than reaching for the rope pull up to the ceiling. This is getting a nice big opening in the ribs there. Good. And other side. We didn't spend as much time today at the beginning doing any release work manually. So we're going to make sure that we get a nice big stretch with these muscles. A little bit more focusing on that than we normally probably would. And reach. Other side. Nice, everybody. We have 2 more each side. And 2. Okay, last 2. Make sure if you're using your arm, we don't want to be sinking into the shoulder like this. We should be pulling up and out. Yeah. Other side, last time, pull up and out of that shoulder. And awesome. Now we're going to take those arms back out. We're going to do tiny little circles here backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Other way, coming forward. 1, 2, 3. Elbows straight. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bring the arms down. We're going to do that one more time. Come on up and taking it backwards. 1, 2. Gave you a little break today. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Other way. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to turn sideways just so that we can see what we're doing. Go ahead and extend one of your legs out in front of you, or you could do both. But if we're sitting, probably most of us just want to do one. We're going to do some hinging. Okay, everybody's going to be walking this hinge today. So we're going to be walking down the straight leg. So walk down with the hands. We're trying to keep a nice long spine. So if you can see my back right now, I'm hinging from the hips here. I'm not rounding from the rib cage, right? So we're keeping actually a good visual for some of us that like visuals. If I had the dowel, if you can all see that, if I had the dowel along my back here, as I tip forward and walk myself, it's still in the same spot. I'm not pushing it away. See how it's not on my head anymore? So we have to stay nice and long in that spine. Okay, so just, you don't have to get the dowel, but just pretend. So everybody's walking the hand down. Come all the way down, nice hinge. We should feel a nice big stretch, maybe in the low back, maybe in the back of the leg. And then you're gonna hinge up or walk the hands up. Okay, so it's like we're bowing to someone across the room. Keep that chest nice and lifted. Queen Elizabeth's across the room. We don't want to be rude, so show her your beautiful necklace. Keeping this nice and tall. Hinging forward. If we round the spine, it's going to be a completely different exercise, and we've already done the rounded spine. That was the cat-cow we did. Okay, and coming forward, hinging. You could hold this here for a second. It feels kind of nice. And then slowly come up. Don't worry, we'll be doing the other leg after. Slowly come on down. Hold for a few seconds. Tempo, I'm just guiding. Feel free to do what feels best for each of you. This will be the last one I'll demonstrate. And slowly come on up. Beautiful. Other side. So we're going to do the other leg now. Okay. And Another thing too, if you can't get that leg completely straight, that's okay, but we just want to get it out a little bit. I know some of us might put it on the end of our foot plate. That's fine if there's a mini bend in the knee. If you can get it straight, that's good. Mini bend in the knee, totally fine as well. Okay, here we go. And walking it down, keeping a nice long spine. You can just look down at your knee or your leg, as long as your chest is staying lifted. And then we come back up. Okay, hinging, breathing. Don't forget the deep breaths we did at the beginning of class. And slowly come up. And again, hinging. And slowly come up. And again, hinging. And slowly come up. We're going to do 2 more. Just notice if you feel a stretch more on one side than the other. And come on up. Good. Okay, awesome. Go ahead and grab your dowel. We didn't do any overhead yet, so we're going to do it with the dowel today. So we're going to come on up. Okay, we're going to come up for just a basic around the world. So if you have shoulder pain or you know that you're limited in your shoulder mobility, I highly recommend you take your hands really wide. Take them really wide. That's really going to help you. If you have some like balance challenges, taking your hands up overhead, having your hands wider will also help with that. Okay, otherwise, if your shoulders feel solid and your balance is like awesome, try and bring your hands hardly wide at all. So maybe just shoulder width, and that's going to tighten up the space and challenge them a little bit more. Okay, so pick the range that's best for you. Here we go. Peach under that chin. We're not looking at the hands going up. Stay eyes forward. Come on up. Try and get it just above the crown of the head and then down. So we want to get it like right here if we can. 2 for 10. Feet nice and flat on the foot plates or the floor. Think of getting taller. Elbows straight. A big thing I see with people with this is this. So make sure we're staying nice and tall. It's like we're reaching for the ceiling or the sky. Last 3. And again. And awesome. Okay, we're going to do some rotation. So we're going to rotate. We're going to punch with the opposite arm. Bring it in. Rotate. Punch. Bring it in. I'm keeping this low. So it's like just at my sternum. Right below at the end, bottom of my sternum. No higher than your chest, in other words. Okay, just keep moving. I'll count to 30 from when I started. So it'll give everybody else about 20 to 25. Exhale on that rotation. And we're halfway here. Remember, no wiggle parties in the hips on this. So there should be no adjustments. We shouldn't feel anything in the hips moving. Feet shouldn't be moving. All the rotation is coming from the trunk. So your belly button height. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, stay tall. 5, 4, 3, this is 2, and this is 1. Excellent. Okay, dowel aside, go ahead and grab one of your lighter bands. Probably not, just a heads up, if you have the series, this isn't a light band. This is one of the heavier ones. So probably red or yellow as a guide, okay? We're gonna do double arm external shoulder rotation. Most people don't need a lot of weight with this if we're doing it correctly, because the strength is coming not from the arms, but from the shoulder blades and the rhomboids, right in between the shoulder blades. So you want to think of a little blueberry being right in between the shoulder blades, right in the middle of your back. And that is going to squeeze. So your shoulder blades are going to squeeze that area, and that is what opens your hands. We're not leading with the hands. Okay, so it's a little bit counterintuitive, but if we do that correctly, we're really going to feel the work back there. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze those shoulder blades and the hands just follow. 10 to 15, I'll give everybody a range depending on where we are. Nice, everybody. Remember, you can always do wrists. You can wrap around your wrists if you need to, or you can have loops. And awesome, good. So one other thing, I can't see everybody, but just a hint, sometimes I see people in a bicep curl doing this, and they're up here. So make sure your hands are low, like on a table here. So we're not curling up here. Because what happens is we get weak back here. So the biceps go, oh, well, I can do it. I'm strong. And they try and do the work. So we want to try and take the biceps out of it somewhat. And we're keeping our hands even. Okay, so just something for everyone to think about. You will get another chance to do that. We're going to do this series one more time. So we have our around the world rotation with the punch for 30 this time on for everybody. External shoulder rotation. And then we're going to move on. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. I'll give everyone a water break after this. Staying tall, feet flat in the floor on your foot plates. We're over halfway. This one's just 10. First overhead movement of the day. These overhead movements. So really try and get that dowel above your head. One more. Keep that chest lifted. Rotation into the punch. Here we go. Sitting up tall. It's 15 each side, if anyone's wondering. Go for a while. Shoulders are away from those ears. So nice long necks. We're over halfway. Keep that breath going. Almost there. Breathe. And awesome. Put the dowel aside. Grab your band. If you didn't like the resistance of the band before, feel free to switch it out. Okay, the wrapping I was talking about, you can just do this if you need to. Okay, palms can be here. They can also be, if you have loops, they can also be neutral grip like this. Okay, here we go. Squeeze that little blueberry. 3, 2, and 1. Externally rotate those thumbs. I'll do 15. 10 to 15 is acceptable, anywhere in there. 3, breathing. 2, feel those shoulder blades working. 1, and good. Okay, everybody get some water. And then we'll meet back with your weights in your hands. Or weight, whatever you're working with. So I kind of gave it away earlier, but we're going to be doing a curl, bicep curl to a press, but we're going to stick with a hammer curl. So what that means is we're keeping the weights, so the the back of your dumbbell or the back of your soup can or the top of your water is going to stay facing the armpits. So sometimes I get you to curl and put fingernails to armpits. Today we're not doing that. It's just in, we don't curl at all. Press just like that, bring it back down, and then in. So this is a little easier to remember because there's no changing of the wrists. So if you have ends of dumbbells or cans, you would see them the entire time. They're here, they're here. I know you can't see when I go overhead, but they're not moving. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, if you need stability and you need to hold something, you're doing single arm. You're gonna do a little quicker than what we're doing so you can catch up and then go to your other side and catch up. So if you're doing that, probably hit about 10 on each side. Unless you start right now, you can maybe get 15 on each side. Otherwise, we're gonna do 15 both, and I'll keep the tempo a little bit slower so that we can all meet up. Okay, here we go. Shoulders back, chest tall, peach under the chin. Exhale, and 1. Overhead press. Bring it in and down. Okay, when your hands go above your head, we want to keep the neck long. So keep those shoulders away from your ears. Elbows stay in at the rib cage. Over halfway. If you're doing one side, make sure you're counting for yourself so you can be even. Four, keep that breath going because your heart rate's going to start coming up soon if it hasn't already. 2 more. Last one. And awesome. Good. Okay, this is a little bit of a different one. Sometimes I usually don't do exercises like this for a lot of us that have shoulder stuff, but this is a really important one to do if we don't have any shoulder injuries. Okay, so if you have a shoulder injury, I do not want you to use weight, which means if you bring your hands out to the sides like this and you have pain, you're not going to do this exercise. What you're going to do is elbows in, and you're going to bring it in and then bring it down. Okay, if you're fine and everything feels good, you're going to start with your hands down, holding your weights, either both or one hand. You're going to keep a mini bend in the elbows, and you're going to lift to 90 degrees and then back down. Okay, so I am not, if you can see sideways, I'm not totally stretching my arm like this. I'm actually bent a little bit at the elbows, and my hands are slightly in front of me. We're not all the way back here. Okay, almost like bird wings, like seagull wings, right? They're kind of a little bit in front and then they kick back. Just to 90, we're not coming all the way up here. So it's just here and then down. If that feels like you could do it, but your weights are too heavy, you can take the weights away and you're just gonna do this. Because this alone is a workout too, right? If you need stability, you're gonna hold on and you're gonna do the one arm at a time, okay? So pick your poison, there's a few. This is, if you have a shoulder injury, it hurts your shoulders, we're coming here, making the lever smaller or shorter. Otherwise, we're here or without weights or single arm. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Coming up. I'm going to demonstrate for 15. Once again, that rep range of 10 to 15 would be fine. And we're pausing right at the top there for a second. I don't want to see any momentum swinging. Okay, so no, like, I'm not going to demonstrate it, but try not swing your arms up there or heave them up. Should be controlled. Okay, and notice how my shoulders don't go up. I'm not doing this, right? We don't want big traps. Most of us already have really tight traps. We don't want to tense them up even more. So try and keep the neck nice and relaxed, nice and long. Breathing. Last 5 here. If that's enough for you, feel free to rest. There's no magic number. It's whatever works for you. I'm just giving ranges. And again. and take a little break. Good. Okay, we're going to end there and just call that a tricep because you're doing 2 exercises in one on that first one, and then lateral raise. Okay, so take a little break, get some water, and then we're going to do that one at least one more time, hoping for 2. And for those of you doing single arm, it's like a lot of exercises, right? Right, left, right, left, right, left. All right, I'll give you another 20 seconds. We're going to start after that. You're on the clock. Okay, and here we go. Curl to press, hammer curl. So we're keeping the ends of the weights facing our shoulders. 3, 2, and 1. Curl, up, in, and then down. Bicep curl, 1, overhead press. Lots of shoulders today. Don't forget your posture, nice and tall. Over halfway here, looking straight ahead, not looking up. We don't need to. It actually makes it harder to lift the weights if we look up. It seems counterintuitive, but it's true. If you can, think of that little extra step of keeping your front body nice and tight. So belly button drawing into the spine, supporting that trunk with your core. Last 3. Inhale here, exhale, push. Last one. And good, give yourself a break. So if you need to, just put those weights down for a second, shake out those hands, okay, before we get started. And then we're doing your lateral raise. Okay, here we go. If you don't want the weights, take them away. Otherwise, we're coming in. Palms are down. Mini bend in the elbows. Think seagull wings. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Just to 90 degrees. And there's a mini bend in those elbows. So if I'm facing sideways, it looks like this. Okay, so they're slightly out in front, just a little bit. And last 5 here. Neck nice and long. And 5, and take a little break. Good. Okay, I'm making the executive decision to move on. So shake out your hands. Go ahead and get a sip of water. And then we're going to grab a thicker band. So a heavier band, preferably long if you can. Okay, this is going to be a horizontal row. So we're going to be attaching this either over our foot plate, around our foot plates, or around one of our extended legs or feet. And we're doing a horizontal row here. So theme, it's the same squeeze in the back, that little shoulder blades squeeze, that little blueberry spot. We're going to think of the same thing as we sit tall, keeping that chest nice and lifted. Okay, and we're going to do 15. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Nice and tall. I'm just turning sideways so everyone can kind of see what I'm doing. Or diagonal, I guess. Like I said, band should be a bit heavier if possible. One more. And awesome, good. Okay, another band piece. Go ahead and get your lighter band Or some of us might be okay to use your row band, but I would probably guess most of us are going to want to lighten it up a little bit. So we haven't done this one in a while. This is going to be our sword, sorry, not our sword pull. Well, I guess it's the bow and arrow is what I call it. So the bow and arrow exercise. So if you're on Ocean Insider Club, it's under bow and arrow. Okay. So we're here. You're going to have your hand either wrapped at one end, or you can do the loop and you're going to hold it right out to the side. Okay. This other hand is going to grab somewhere on the band, and it's like you're going to pull a bow and arrow right across your chest and back over. Okay. So notice the biggest thing with this is notice my elbow. I'm not coming down, right? I'm staying high. It's like I'm wiping a table. Okay. And obviously the closer I grab to my other hand, the more tension you're going to have. So if it's too much, just loosen it up. Okay, here we go. If you're somebody that needs the stability, you can actually roll up to a table, put your hand on the table, and you can do it from this, this angle. You'd probably be at a better angle than me. You'd probably be a little bit more like this, and that would be fine. Okay, otherwise our hand is out. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Pull, and now it's the arm that's pulling. It's that shoulder blade. I want you to think of gliding along your back. So lots of back in this superset. Nice long neck. Okay, same rep range, 10 to 15. Whatever you do on this side, you're going to have to match it. So don't overdo it if you know that you're starting with your dominant side. And awesome, good. Okay, shake that out, other side. So wrapping or just holding. Okay, remember what number you did on the other side. Here we go, neck nice and long. 3, 2, and 1, and we pull along a table, squeezing that shoulder blade. Just looking right over the hand, over halfway. Elbow stays up. Last 3, 2, and 3, and relax. Good. Woo, give your arms a little rest. Okay, we are going to start with that because that's 2 sides on that last one. So we have our row, okay, with the band over the feet. And then we have our, why can't I ever remember the name of this? Bow and arrow pull on each side. Okay, so get a sip of water and then we're going to do this again. Last time. Questions, comments are always accepted. Otherwise, we'll just keep moving. We'll start in about 20 seconds. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. And I'll just face this way for fun this time. If you want, if you did one foot, you could do the other foot now, wrap around. Totally up to you though. Or both feet. Okay, here we go. 3, nice and tall in the chest. 2, 1, and we're rowing. Squeeze those shoulder blades. So this is all for your back body, believe it or not. The weight is coming from the front or the resistance, but we're pulling like this is always those muscles in the posterior chain. The biggest ones anyways. Think of breathing, exhaling on the work. So we exhale here. Last 2. 10 to 15, up to you. And then slowly take your foot out. Good. Okay, you're done with that for today. I'm going to start on my other side first, just because if you know you have a side that's way more dominant than your other, Sometimes it's really helpful to start with the dominant side and then the other side can mirror. If you're not sure and it feels pretty even to you, go ahead and switch your leading arm. Okay, here we go. 3, wiping that table, 2, and 1. Looking at your front arm. Nice long neck. Feet are flat in the floor on your foot plate. Think of getting really tall. Last 3 here. Keep that elbow high. Squeeze that shoulder blade. And awesome, good. Okay, other side, you're almost done this one. If I throw a lot of cues out and they don't all stick with you, that's fine. Just pick one that really does resonate with you, and I want you to focus on that one, okay? Everybody's kind of working on a little bit different things, so it's nice to kind of see what makes the biggest difference in your body and focus on that. All right, 3, 2, and here we go. And this is 4, 3, good, everybody, you're almost there. 2, keep that elbow high, 1, and shake it out, awesome. Okay, get a little sip of water. I'm gonna give everybody a choice. We're just gonna do one last little exercise. You can either use your dowel or you could use a lightweight. You're probably like, well, what are we doing? So you're either gonna go punch, overhead. Yes, more shoulder work. 1, this is for time, okay? So this would be no weight, or you can do weight, okay? That's the only difference. I'm gonna demonstrate with the dowel, okay? We are gonna do this for 1 minute, and then we're done. I know it's a long time, but we can do it, okay? So grab your equipment, a lightweight or a dowel. Dowel grip can be whatever's comfortable to you, probably just a little wider than your shoulders. Okay, the goal with this is to be quick. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. We're on the clock. 1, overhead. 2, last thing today, let's get that heart rate up. Breathing. If it gets hard, I want you to smile. It'll help, I promise. Not for long, but it does help a little bit. You are halfway, everybody. Good. Keep going. Make sure when you're pressing in front, it's no higher than the chest. 15 seconds. Can we do it? All the way to the end. 10 seconds left. Let's see the pace. Keep it up. Don't let it slow down. 3, 2, 1, and time. Woo, good job, everybody. All right, I'm gonna do a quick stretch for your shoulders with you before you leave today, just because I don't want anyone leaving without this one. So we're gonna come in, you're just gonna grab an arm, bring it over the chest, and you're just gonna pull across. I don't wanna see this with the shoulder. Try and keep the shoulder down. Nice and tall, we're here for 30. Hey, let your heart rate come down, breathing. Now's a good time to go back to the belly breaths if we totally abandon them in this last 50 minutes. And slowly unwind that, give it a little shake. And other side, catch, pull across, shoulder away from the ear. Just relax this hand, just let it dangle. for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then shake that out. Good. Give your neck a little tilt. Neck stretches, if you want to do a little bit more, neck stretches would be nice. Pec stretch on the wall would be another good one. Otherwise, any other type of movement later today would also help. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me today. That was your workout. I look forward to seeing you all next week. I will stay on here for just a minute or two if anyone has any questions or comments. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, Linda.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Marnie. Thanks, Donna.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mary. See you later. All right. I think we're probably good. If someone asks a question, you can forward it to me, but everyone's still muted, so I'm leaving. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Thanks, Martine. And I will see you next week. Oh,
your mic was fine also.
was it? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
It
no
must have
problems.
just, perfect. It must have just been something yesterday. Someone said something. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank
All right.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.